Come now, and find your way to a comfortable place. A place where you can let go of the day and allow your body to grow heavy, soft, and still. Settle in and let your breath begin to deepen, a slow and steady rhythm, like the quiet tide on a far and lonely shore. With each breath out, feel the edges of the world begin to soften, the sounds of your room fading into a gentle, distant hum. You are preparing for a journey tonight, not one of action or effort, but one of stillness and observation. A journey to a place of profound quiet, a sanctuary tucked away at the very edge of the world. Imagine yourself beginning a slow ascent, moving up the winding path of Penumbra Peak. The air grows cooler here, cleaner. The sounds of civilization have long since fallen away, replaced by a silence so deep it feels like a soft blanket against your ears. The only sound is the whisper of a gentle breeze through ancient, gnarled pines, a sound that only seems to deepen the surrounding quiet. The path is made of dark, smooth stones, worn down by centuries of solitude, and they feel cool and solid beneath your feet, anchoring you to the earth even as you climb towards the sky. You are leaving the busy world behind, and with every step, a little more of its weight falls away from your shoulders. The air carries a new scent now, not just of pine and damp earth, but of something older, the crisp, clean fragrance of high altitudes, and beneath it, the subtle, sweet perfume of night-blooming moonvines, their pale, ghostly blossoms unfurling in the twilight as you pass. Finally, you reach the summit, and there it stands, not a fortress against the sky, but a part of it, the grand observatory of Penumbra Peak. It is a solitary tower, circular and strong, built from massive blocks of dark gray basalt that seem to have absorbed the deep, dreamless quiet of the mountain itself. The stone is cool to the touch, a profound and steady cold that speaks of ancient rock and eternal night. Woven into the stone construction are great beams of cedar wood, their fragrance a dry, sweet, and comforting counterpoint to the cool stone. The wood is dark, almost black with age, but it emanates a quiet warmth, a history of seasons passed in silent observation. This is a place of balance, of stone and wood, of earth and sky, of profound stillness. Before you is a single, immense door, crafted from the same dark cedar. It has no handle, no lock, only a smooth, polished surface. As you approach, it glides open with a sound so soft it is almost imagined, a deep, sighing whisper of wood against stone. It moves not with mechanical precision, but with the gentle inevitability of a leaf falling in a windless forest. As the door opens, the air that greets you is a current of pure tranquility. It is cool and still, carrying the blended scents of the ancient cedar, the faint, sweet perfume of the moonvines clinging to the outer walls, and something else, something clean and vast and metallic. It is the scent of distant space, of the cold, clean void between the stars, a scent that has seeped into the very fabric of this place. Step inside. The door whispers shut behind you, and the deep silence of the observatory envelops you completely. You are standing in a vast, circular chamber. Your eyes adjust to the low light, and the sheer scale of the room unfolds around you. The floor is made of the same dark, polished basalt as the walls, so smooth and seamless that it mirrors the faintest light like the surface of a deep, still lake. The walls curve away from you in a perfect, unbroken circle, their dark stone absorbing all sound, creating an atmosphere of sacred hush. There are no windows in the walls, no connection to the world outside, save for the one you just passed through. This chamber is a world unto itself. And then you look up. The ceiling. The ceiling is the reason this observatory exists. It is a vast, seamless dome of pure, clear crystal, so flawless that it feels as though the roof is simply open to the heavens. Through it, the cosmos is laid bare. A river of starlight, the thick, churning band of the galaxy, spills across the darkness. Constellations you have never seen before glitter with an impossible clarity. Nebulae hang like soft-breathed watercolor clouds of pink and blue and gold. The sheer number of stars is overwhelming, yet not chaotic. Here, in the profound silence, they form a silent, celestial choir, a community of light in the endless dark. Your awareness then drifts from the magnificent sight above to the subtle sound that underpins the silence. It is a low, resonant hum, so deep and steady that you feel it more than you hear it. It is not the sound of a machine, but more like the building itself is breathing. A slow, sleeping vibration that is the bass note of this sanctuary. It is the sound of the great loom. In the exact center of the circular chamber, directly beneath the apex of the crystal dome, stands the loom. It is a colossal thing, taller than a person, and wider than your outstretched arms. It is carved from a single piece of ebonized wood, a wood so dark it seems to drink the light around it, leaving only a soft satin sheen on its powerful frame. It is a simple, ancient design, a testament to a craft as old as the stars themselves. And it is from this loom that the deep, gentle hum emanates, a sound of readiness, of patient, sleeping potential. Around the room, you notice other tools of this quiet trade. Set in alcoves within the stone walls are several large, shallow bowls made of the same clear crystal as the dome. They are perfectly transparent, catching the faint starlight and refracting it into tiny, fleeting rainbows on the dark walls. Beside them, against another wall, is a long, low table, its surface made of the same dark ebony as the loom. It is polished to a mirror finish, its surface empty and waiting. This is a workshop, but one of reverence, a studio for an artist whose medium is the cosmos itself. And it is here, in this quiet space, that you finally see him, Silas, the weaver. He is not a grand or imposing figure. He is a part of the quiet, a piece of the observatory's soul. He stands near the far wall, his back mostly to you, and his presence is one of such immense calm that he seems to melt into the shadows. He is ancient, his form stooped slightly, not with the weakness of age, but with the permanent posture of one who has spent millennia bowing his head in reverence to his work. His movements are slow, deliberate, almost a form of meditation. Every gesture is imbued with a quiet purpose, a deep and loving familiarity with his surroundings. He wears simple robes of a dark, undyed wool, the color of the basalt walls, and they make no sound as he moves. He turns, not because he has heard or seen you, but because it is time. The moment has arrived. His face is a landscape of gentle lines, a map of countless nights spent in silent contemplation. His eyes, when they briefly sweep the room, are not looking at anything in particular. but seem to be feeling the readiness of the space. They are kind eyes, full of a deep, peaceful light. He walks toward the center of the room, his bare feet making no sound on the polished stone floor. His movements are so graceful, so perfectly attuned to the silence, that he seems to float over the floor rather than walk upon it. He comes to a stop just beside the great loom and places a hand on a small, almost invisible lever set into the floor. He does not speak. There is no need for words here. The process itself is a language, a story told in motion and light. With a slow, steady pull, he engages the mechanism. There is no grinding of gears, no clank of machinery. Instead, a low, harmonic chime resonates through the chamber, a pure, sweet tone that seems to come from the crystal dome itself. And then, with a movement so smooth it is like watching a thought unfold, the great dome begins to open. Seamlessly, silently, the vast expanse of crystal slides away, retracting into the thick stone walls, leaving nothing between you and the living, breathing night sky. The air in the chamber shifts. The cool, still air inside mingles with the even cooler, wilder air from the summit. The scent of space, that clean, metallic tang, grows stronger. You can feel the immensity of the open void above you, a presence that is both humbling and deeply peaceful. The stars seem to brighten, to draw closer, their ancient light no longer filtered, even by the flawless crystal. It feels as if the very boundary between this small, sacred room and the infinite universe has dissolved. You are no longer looking at the sky. You are in it. Silas stands for a long moment, head tilted back, his eyes closed. He is listening, not with his ears, but with his entire being. He is feeling the starlight. In this world, the light from the stars is not merely electromagnetic radiation. It is the distilled essence of a long and solitary journey. Light that has traveled for thousands or millions of years across the silent emptiness of space grows weary. It becomes heavy with quietude, saturated with the deep peace of its long voyage. And when it finally reaches the gentle cradle of this atmosphere, it does not scatter. It is ready to rest. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, it begins, a gentle drift. It is not like snow or rain. It is a slow, silent descent of luminosity. The starlight begins to condense, to fall like a fine, shimmering dust. Each mote of light, a tiny, sleeping soul. You can see it now, a soft cascade of silver and gold and pale blue drifting down into the observatory. It is a silent, holy rain of tired light. Silas moves again. His slow, gliding walk takes him to the alcoves where the crystal bowls are kept. He lifts one, his movements careful and practiced. The bowl is large, perhaps 3 feet in diameter, but it seems to weigh nothing in his hands. He carries it to a position on the floor, directly beneath a particularly bright cluster of blue-white stars. He returns and fetches another, placing it under a soft, golden haze that you recognize as a vast, distant nebula. He repeats this process 4 times, arranging the massive crystal bowls across the dark, reflective floor, each one positioned to receive the light from a different region of the sky. And now, you can hear it. A new sound joins the low hum of the loom. It is an impossibly high, faint, crystalline shimmering. It is the sound of the starlight as it touches the crystal bowls. As the descending light meets the crystal, it ceases to be mere light. It coalesces, turning from ethereal mist into a tangible substance. It pools in the bottom of the bowls, gathering like liquid mercury, like molten silver. It swirls with a slow, syrupy grace, a miniature galaxy captured in each container. The bowls fill with this liquid light, glowing from within, casting soft, shifting patterns on the dark basalt floor and the high, curving walls. The chamber is filled with a gentle, living light, a light that hums with the quiet energy of 1,000 sleeping suns. Silas watches, his expression one of serene patience. This part of the process cannot be rushed. The light must be given time to settle, to cool, to complete its long journey from a distant, fiery heart to this moment of tranquil rest. For what feels like a long, peaceful hour, the only movement is the slow swirling of the liquid light in the bowls, and the only sounds are the deep hum of the loom and the high, sweet shimmer of the condensing stars. It is a hypnotic, deeply calming scene, a process of cosmic alchemy, turning the ephemeral into the tangible. Gradually, the swirling in the bowls begins to slow. The brilliant liquid shine starts to soften, to dull slightly as the light cools. The transformation is beginning. The liquid light is solidifying. At the edges of the pools, you can see them forming. Thin, shimmering filaments like spun sugar, but with a light all their own. The threads begin to crystallize from the cooling liquid, growing inward toward the center, weaving themselves into a delicate, shimmering web. Within minutes, the liquid is gone, and in its place, each bowl now holds a soft, tangled mass of glowing, weightless filaments. The raw material of sleep is ready. Silas approaches the first bowl, the one he placed beneath the cluster of brilliant blue-white stars. He kneels beside it, the movement as reverent as prayer. The light from the filaments within casts a soft blue glow upon his ancient, gentle face. He pauses for a moment, simply observing the finished threads, his head cocked as if listening to their silent song. Then, slowly, he reaches his hands into the bowl. His fingers sink into the mass of threads with a whispery softness, a sound like dry leaves skittering across smooth stone, and he lifts the first filament. He draws it out, a single, impossibly long thread that shimmers with a cool blue-white light. He holds it between his thumb and forefinger. And this is where the true magic lies, the part of the craft that only Silas truly understands. It is the feel of the starlight, and he invites you, through his focus, to feel it with him. Imagine it now. This thread, born of a blue giant star, is impossibly smooth. It has a coolness that is not cold, but deeply refreshing, like the feeling of a silk pillowcase on a warm night. It has a surprising weight to it, a density that speaks of its ancient and powerful origin. As he runs it through his fingers, it feels like a strand of polished glass, yet it is utterly flexible, flowing over his skin like a cool, heavy liquid. It makes no sound, but he can feel a faint, deep vibration within it, the resonant frequency of a star thousands of light years away and millennia old. It is a thread of profound, deep, dreamless slumber, the kind of sleep that is so deep it is like a vast, empty ocean. He gathers the rest of the blue filaments from the bowl, a great, shimmering armful of cool, heavy silk. He carries them to the long, dark sorting table and lays them down carefully on the ebonized wood. The blue light of the threads shimmers against the black surface, a stark and beautiful contrast. He moves to the next bowl, the one filled with the soft, golden light of the nebula. When he reaches into this bowl, the texture is entirely different. He lifts out a handful of these filaments, and they are nothing like the first. They are thick and soft, and have an almost downy texture. They have no discernible weight at all. They float from his fingers like the finest milkweed fluff, and they are warm, not with a fiery heat, but with a gentle, encompassing warmth, like the feeling of sunlight on your skin on the first day of spring. Running this golden thread through his fingers feels like touching a cloud. It is a thread of cozy, secure sleep, of gentle dreams, and the feeling of being safely swaddled and protected. It carries the scent of its birthplace, a faint, sweet smell like warm honey and dust. Silas gathers these golden, downy threads and lays them next to the cool blue ones on the sorting table. He continues this process, moving from bowl to bowl, his hands discerning the unique character of each star's gift. From a small, fiercely burning young star, he gathers threads that are thin and wiry, and they leave a faint, pleasant tingle on his skin, a feeling of effervescent energy now calmed into quiet potential. These threads will be used for blankets that bring insightful dreams, dreams of creativity and gentle revelation. From a dying red dwarf, he gathers threads that are brittle and whisper-thin, yet incredibly soft, like the ash of a sacred fire. They feel ancient, fragile, and peaceful. These are threads of pure, unadulterated peace, of letting go, of the quiet end to a long and meaningful story. Slowly, the great ebony table begins to fill. It becomes a palette of cosmic textures, a library of celestial feelings. Silas arranges them with painstaking care, not by color, but by their tactile essence. The cool, heavy silks are grouped together. The warm, weightless downs are piled in soft, glowing mounds. The tingling, energetic threads are laid in a neat, shimmering row. The ancient, ashen filaments are placed carefully to one side. His hands move with an unthinking knowledge, sorting the very fabric of the night sky by its feel. Each touch is a communion, a moment of understanding between the weaver and his celestial material. And now, the gathering and sorting are complete. Silas stands before the long table, a still figure in the softly glowing room. Before him lies the distilled quietude of the cosmos, transformed into tangible threads of sleep. Each filament hums with its own silent story, its own unique promise of peace. The air is thick with their gentle, collected light and their faint, unique scents. The crystal bowls now sit empty, waiting for the next fall of stars. And in the center of the room, the great, dark loom waits patiently, its deep hum, a steady, resonant promise. The threads are spun. The weaver is ready. The true work of the night is about to begin. His hands, ancient and knowing, hover over the table for a long, still moment. He is not merely choosing materials. He is composing a symphony of silence, a recipe for a specific kind of peace. His gaze settles first on the cool, heavy, blue-white filaments, the ones born from the ancient giant stars. These will form the foundation, the deep and steady bass notes of the slumber he is about to create. He reaches out and gathers a great, shimmering handful. Imagine again that sensation. The threads are cool and substantial, flowing over his weathered hands like a slow stream of liquid moonlight. They carry the profound quiet of the void, the dreamless, bottomless peace of a body truly and completely at rest. He turns and approaches the colossal ebony loom. The deep hum that emanates from its frame seems to grow a little stronger, a little more resonant, as if in welcome. This is the loom's purpose, its entire existence dedicated to this single sacred task. He begins to thread the warp, the vertical threads that will provide the structure for the entire textile. He takes the end of a single blue-white filament and attaches it to a small, smooth hook at the top of the loom. Then, with a slow and practiced motion, he draws the thread downward. It unspools from his hand without friction, a single, unwavering line of cool light against the dark wood. He fastens it at the bottom, and the thread becomes taut, vibrating with a barely perceptible deep hum, a note that harmonizes perfectly with the loom itself. He does this again and again. His movements are a slow and graceful dance, a patient ritual repeated dozens, then hundreds of times. He moves back and forth between the table and the loom, gathering the cool, heavy threads and stringing them one by one. The process is meticulous, unhurried. With each thread, he adds, the space between the top and bottom of the loom begins to fill with a shimmering curtain of blue-white light, like a captured slice of a distant aurora. It looks like a harp made of solidified moonbeams, and its silent music is one of deep, abiding calm. As he works, the air in the chamber becomes saturated with the essence of these threads. The coolness is not a chill, but a deep, refreshing serenity that seems to quiet the mind, smoothing out the rumpled thoughts of the day. It is the feeling of a calm, clear night sky seeping into the very room, into the very air you breathe. The process of stringing the warp takes a long time, but here, in the observatory, time itself feels different. It does not march forward in a straight line, but pools and eddies, stretching to accommodate the patient, sacred work being done. There is no sense of urgency, only a deep and satisfying sense of purpose unfolding at its own natural pace. Finally, the last blue thread is strung, the warp is complete. A dense, shimmering field of cool, heavy light hangs from the loom, waiting. It is the promise of profound physical rest, the bedrock of sleep upon which dreams can be built. Silas steps back, his head tilted, observing his work. He runs a hand gently across the vertical threads, and a soft, melodic chime, like impossibly tiny glass bells, ripples through the air as his fingers brush against the filaments. The sound is absorbed almost immediately by the sound-dampening stone walls, leaving the deep hum of the loom to reign once more. Now for the weft, the threads that will be woven through the warp, bringing warmth, texture, and dreams to the final creation. Silas returns to the ebony table. This time, his hands move to the soft, golden, downy filaments gathered from the heart of the nebula. He lifts a great, airy mass of them. They are almost weightless in his arms, a cloud of captured warmth. Bringing them close, he breathes in their faint, honeyed scent. These threads are for comfort, for security, for the feeling of being held and protected through the night. They are the threads of gentle dreams, of memories of sunshine and soft blankets. He takes this glowing golden cloud and carries it to a special part of the loom, the shuttle, The shuttle is a smooth, boat-shaped piece of the same ebonized wood, polished to a mirror sheen. It is cool and heavy in his hands. He opens a small compartment within it and begins to feed the golden, downy threads inside. They disappear into the shuttle, filling its hollow core with their soft, warm light. When it is full, he closes it with a soft, satisfying click. He places the shuttle into its track at the side of the loom. He then chooses another type of thread from the table. He picks up a single, thin, wiry filament, the one gathered from the fiercely burning young star. He holds it for a moment, feeling that faint, pleasant tingle against his fingertips, the signature of nascent energy now calmed into quietude. This thread is not for deep sleep, nor for cozy comfort. It is for inspiration, for the flash of insight that can sometimes come in a dream, for the gentle untangling of a problem that has troubled the waking mind. It is a thread of quiet revelation. He does not load this into the shuttle. Instead, he carefully weaves this single, silvery, tingling thread in amongst the golden, downy ones. A solitary strand of subtle magic within the weft of comforting dreams. A promise of clarity to be discovered upon waking. With the shuttle loaded and the warp prepared, the weaving can now commence. Silas places his hands on the sides of the great loom. He closes his eyes. He is not operating a machine. He is beginning a collaboration. He takes a slow, deep breath, and as he exhales, the deep hum of the loom deepens in pitch, shifting from a note of readiness to a tone of active, gentle creation. And the process begins. There are no pedals for his feet, no clattering heddles rising and falling. The loom responds to his intent, to his quiet, focused will. Slowly, a section of the blue-white warp thread separates, half lifting forward, the other half receding, opening a space between them, a silent, magical parting of the sea of light. Then, the shuttle begins to move. It glides from one side of the loom to the other, smooth and silent, leaving a single, soft, golden thread behind it in the space between the warp. It is a line of warm light drawn through a field of cool light. The shuttle reaches the other side with a barely audible whisper of polished wood against polished wood. Then the warp threads shift again, the forward ones moving back and the back ones moving forward, locking the golden thread into place. The shuttle glides back again, leaving another thread. Back and forth it moves. Its motion is not rapid or mechanical, but has the slow, steady, graceful rhythm of a pendulum, of a deep and sleeping breath. With each pass, another line of warm, soft gold is added to the growing fabric. Slowly, a new substance begins to appear at the base of the loom, the blanket. It is not merely a grid of blue and gold. The threads of starlight are not like mundane wool or cotton. As they are woven together, they merge, they blend. The cool, heavy nature of the blue threads fuses with the warm, weightless quality of the golden ones. The resulting fabric is something new, something impossible. It shimmers with a soft internal luminescence, a gentle milky white glow that contains hints of both blue and gold. Where the thin, silvery thread of revelation is woven in, a tiny, brilliant point of light glimmers for a moment before softening into the whole. The pattern it creates is not a simple checkerboard or stripe. It is organic, flowing. It looks like a captured patch of night sky where nebulae of gold dust swirl through fields of distant blue-white stars. It is a textile of pure tranquility. Silas watches, his hands resting lightly on the loom's frame, his expression one of deep, serene concentration. He is guiding the process, ensuring the balance is perfect. He is weaving not just threads, but feelings. The coolness of deep rest with the warmth of security. The profound stillness of the void with the gentle murmur of a happy dream. His focus is absolute. The world outside this chamber, the very concept of a world outside, has ceased to exist. There is only the weaver, the loom, and the slow, miraculous birth of the starlight blanket. The only sounds are the deep, melodic hum of the loom at work and the soft, whispery sigh of the shuttle as it glides back and forth, delivering its gift of golden thread. As the weaving continues, the blanket grows. Inch by inch, the shimmering fabric lengthens, spilling down from the loom and beginning to pool on the polished basalt floor. It does not fold or crease like normal cloth. It flows, it puddles, like a slow-motion cascade of liquid light. The soft glow from the growing blanket illuminates the chamber with a gentle, dreamlike radiance, casting Silas's patient, focused form into a timeless silhouette. The air grows thick with a unique and beautiful scent, a combination of the cool metallic tang of deep space and the warm, honeyed fragrance of the nebula, all underscored by the ancient, comforting smell of the cedar wood that frames the observatory. It is the scent of peace itself. He weaves and weaves, his rhythm unwavering. The shuttle glides, the warp shifts, the fabric grows. The process is a long, hypnotic meditation, a visual lullaby. You watch the slow, steady creation, and you feel the intended effect of the blanket even before it is finished. Your own breathing has slowed to match the rhythm of the shuttle. The gentle hum of the loom seems to vibrate in your own chest, a soothing, calming frequency. The sight of the swirling, luminous patterns in the fabric is mesmerizing, drawing your focus inward, away from any lingering thoughts or worries. You are witnessing the crafting of peace, and in doing so, you are becoming peaceful yourself. After what feels like a lifetime and no time at all, the last of the golden thread is woven. The shuttle slides into its resting place at the side of the loom and falls silent. The deep hum of the loom softens, returning to its original, patient, sleeping tone. The movement ceases. It is done. The blanket hangs from the loom, a magnificent tapestry of cosmic light. It is long and generous, its surface swirling with soft, luminous clouds of gold and blue, punctuated by the occasional tiny silver glimmer of insight. It seems to breathe with a gentle light of its own. It is a masterpiece of tranquility, a tangible piece of the silent, benevolent night. Silas steps forward and, with the same reverence he has shown throughout, begins the final step. He runs a small, sharp tool made of obsidian down the edges of the fabric, severing it from the loom. There is no sound as the threads are cut, only a soft release of light. He gently gathers the finished blanket into his arms. It is large, yet it seems to weigh almost nothing. It flows over his arms, not like cloth, but like a captured cloud, a piece of the evening sky. It emanates a gentle, neutral temperature, the perfect balance of the cool and warm threads from which it was woven. It is the temperature of perfect comfort. He holds it for a moment, this beautiful, impossible object. He has woven a blanket not of wool or cotton, but of rest. He has crafted a covering from the distilled essence of quietude. It is a vessel for the peace of a long journey ended. Then he turns. He turns from the loom and the empty bowls and the sorting table. He turns and moves across the dark, silent floor, his bare feet making no sound. He moves toward you, his ancient eyes, full of a deep and gentle kindness, are fixed on you. For this blanket, this specific tapestry of starlight woven on this particular night, was never destined for a shelf or a chest. It was not an exercise in craft for its own sake. From the moment the first star began its descent, this blanket had a purpose. It has always been for you. He stops before you, the blanket held out in his arms. The soft, gentle light from it illuminates your own space, pushing back the last shadows of the waking world. He does not need to speak. His intent is clear, communicated through his quiet, reverent posture and the deep peace in his eyes. He is offering you this gift. He is offering you the sleep of the stars. And now, you can feel it. He begins to gently, slowly lay the blanket over you. Imagine the sensation as it first touches you. It is weightless, a mere ghost of a pressure, yet it has a presence, a substance that is deeply reassuring. It is not heavy, but it is profound. It contours perfectly to your form, a second skin made of peace. The balanced temperature of the fabric is immediate. A gentle coolness that soothes and calms your body, bleeding away any lingering tension, and a soft, penetrating warmth that cocoons you in a feeling of absolute safety and security. Feel it as it settles over your shoulders, a gentle weight of pure tranquility. Feel it as it drapes over your body, its soft, luminous fabric silencing the last echoes of the day. The swirling patterns of light in the blanket seem to pulse with a slow, steady rhythm, a gentle ebb and flow that matches your own slow, deep breathing. The faint, beautiful scent of starlight and peace rises from the fabric, a final, gentle invitation to let go. As the blanket fully envelops you, the sounds of the observatory begin to fade. The low hum of the loom softens into an almost subliminal vibration. The whisper of the wind at the top of the peak dissolves into nothing. You are enclosed now in a small, perfect universe of quiet. A universe created just for you. You are wrapped in the distilled silence of 1,000,000 years of cosmic travel. You are swaddled in the deep, dreamless rest of a star that has finally come home. There is nothing left to do, nothing to think, nothing to hold on to. There is only the soft, gentle presence of the Starlight Weaver's blanket, and the profound, deep, and peaceful sleep that it brings. Allow yourself to sink into it, into the deep, dark, soft, and silent peace. Let the starlight hold you. Let go. Sleep now. Sleep.